Let me share a perspective that has been on my mind. Before we took our first breath, before our bodies formed within our mother's womb, what were we? Most people assume that consciousness begins at birth, or perhaps sometime during development in the womb. But what if consciousness is not created by the body at all? What if the body is simply a vessel through which consciousness experiences a particular reality? If that is true, then our existence did not begin here. We came from somewhere else, a state of being beyond our current understanding. Not necessarily a place in the physical sense, but a level of existence that is more fundamental than the world we perceive through our senses. What we call reality may only be one layer of a much larger structure. We live on Earth, a planet. The word itself can be viewed symbolically as a plane of existence. Earth is one stage upon which consciousness can experience itself. Every world, every dimension, every realm of experience may represent another plane through which awareness can travel and learn. The space between planets appears empty to us, but appearances can be deceiving. We once believed the air around us was empty until we discovered radio waves, electromagnetic fields, and countless forms of energy moving through it. Perhaps what we call space is not empty at all, but filled with forms of existence that lie beyond our current ability to perceive. Maybe before entering this life, our consciousness existed within that greater reality. Maybe death is not an ending but a transition back into it. Birth and death could simply be doorways through which awareness moves from one state of experience to another. From this perspective, time itself becomes questionable. We experience life as a sequence of moments flowing from past to future, yet all we ever truly encounter is the present moment. The past exists only as memory, the future exists only as imagination. Reality is always happening now. If the present moment is all that truly exists, then perhaps time is not a river carrying us forward. Perhaps it is more like a landscape through which consciousness moves. What appears to us as a linear progression could simply be our limited way of interpreting a much larger reality. If consciousness can exist independently of this physical plane, then there may be countless other planes of existence available to it. Some may resemble Earth. Others may operate under entirely different laws and conditions. Life could emerge in forms so different from our own that we would struggle to recognize it as life at all. When we look into the night sky, we often imagine ourselves isolated on a small world surrounded by lifeless emptiness. Yet the universe contains hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy alone, and hundreds of billions of galaxies beyond that. The idea that life exists only here may be far less likely than the possibility that life is abundant throughout existence. Earth may occupy a unique role within that larger network. Perhaps it functions as a living library, a place where genetic information, experiences, cultures, and forms of consciousness converge. The incredible diversity of life on this planet could represent a collection of evolutionary pathways gathered over vast stretches of cosmic history. Some species may be native only to Earth. Others may share common origins with life elsewhere in the universe. The patterns we observe in nature, the recurring mathematics, the similar structures found across living organisms, the universal laws governing matter and energy, may hint at a deeper connection between all life. In this view, every conscious being is participating in a grand process of exploration. We are not separate from the universe. We are the universe experiencing itself through individual perspectives. Every life, every challenge, every discovery adds to the collective knowledge of existence. Perhaps our purpose is not merely to survive, accumulate possessions, or pass through life unnoticed. Perhaps we are here to experience, learn, create, love, and contribute to a greater understanding that extends far beyond this single world. If that is true, then birth is not the beginning, death is not the end, and Earth is not the whole story. It is simply one chapter in a much larger journey, one that stretches across dimensions, worlds, and forms of existence we have only begun to imagine.